My Peapod dog is into balls now. Oh, now she thinks we're playing fetch. That was just a one-time thing, baby girl. You just wait. She's going to be crying outside the door in... Oh, my poor girl. Hang on. Okay, we're just going to keep taking fetch breaks because I can't stand to disappoint her like that. Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another iteration of Littleland. And the cat's here too. The gang's all here. Wanna say hi? Alright. He does not want to say hi. He wants to say bye. I'm not funny. Okay. Where were we up to last time? So, everybody, get your best blankets, get your best snuggle buddies, get yourself all wrapped up and cozy and snug in the best way possible for you, and let's have a story, okay? Okay. This is Littleland, Part 2, Chapter 6. Piper stirred in protest as she was carried down the hall, away from the rest of the group. Piper knew she wouldn't be permitted on the mountain trip. While the others explored the forest around the cabin, baked biscuits, and snuggled by the fire, Piper would be here, on her lonesome. She looked over her shoulder and just managed to glimpse the back of Miss Emily's head before they turned a corner and entered a sitting room. Piper began to kick her legs, and Dr. Gilbert gave a sharp sideways glance. She whined, but her legs came to a stop. She was set down on the floor, and the two men made themselves seated on the couch. The doctor placed a black leather bag on the floor next to one of his colossal boots. Awash with shame and disappointment, Piper stood before them and stared mournfully at her shoes. This is why I don't give Ethan much dialogue, because in my head he has an Irish accent, but my ability to do accents, it needs work. Let's put it that way. I think that's a nice way to put it. Sorry. Imagine he's Irish. Okay, little girl, began Ethan in his thick brogue. I'm certain you know what this is about. I know. Her eyes flicking momentarily upward to address the caregivers individually. What are we going to tell you, Piper? Don't be naughty, she said, beginning to chew on her bottom lip. I'm afraid we need you to be a bit more specific, little one, said Dr. Gilbert, folding his hands and placing them neatly in his lap. Don't spoil things, said Piper, deepening guilt instantly visible on her face. She looked up at them with large, liquid eyes. Exactly, said Ethan. We talked about this last time, my girl. Yes, sir. I know. I remember. Piper shifted uncomfortably. She recalled the discussion very well indeed. So why did I need to warn you last night? Asked the doctor, peering down at her atop his glasses. Lost my glasses again. I don't know, intoned Piper, throwing her hands up in frustration. I'm just bad at keeping surprises secret. I'm afraid that's just not gonna cut it, darling. I know I just keep messing everything up. I don't know why. Ethan leaned forward, his face creased with concern. I try to be good, but I just keep ruining everything. The little girl, usually so boisterous and cheeky, began to cry. Hot, frustrated, angry tears poured down her cheeks. She cried openly, with no concern for the opinions of those around her, or who were apt to hear from down the hall. Ethan stretched out his arms. and Piper instinctually moved to enter his embrace. She was enveloped, and Ethan gently rested his forehead against hers. He began to sing a song, a quiet lullaby, his lilting voice soft in her ears. Piper closed her eyes, letting the music calm the ache of guilt inside her. Her tears had dried by the time Ethan's lullaby concluded, and he leaned backwards in his chair to regard her gently. There now. That's better, isn't it? Piper gave a small sniffle and nodded her head. You aren't ruining anything, little one, said Dr. Gilbert. You're allowed to be excited, but you're not allowed to give away surprises. And you're not allowed to start fights in the nursery, said Ethan pointedly. Yeah, I need to work on that, said Piper, her voice husky. You and I are going to work on that this weekend, in fact, said Ethan, giving her back a series of gentle pats. I understand, sighed Piper. But it's not fair that you don't get to go because of me. You should get to go. Ethan and the doctor shared a glance. Ethan's lips twitched into a half smile. Oh no, we're going, little girl. We're just going to work on it while we're up the mountain. Piper gaped at the pair of caregivers, a slow smile spreading over her face. It had never occurred to her that she'd still be permitted to come on the trip. Her heart leapt. And while we're up the mountain, you'll be under close supervision, said Ethan sternly. You remember what that means? Someone with me all the time. Have to be very good. Both Ethan and the doctor looked at her expectantly, prompting her to continue in a soft, begrudging voice. Rains. Exactly right, baby girl. Unless you're in your car seat, crib, bath, or playpen, you'll be wearing these. The doctor retrieved a series of leather straps from the bag set at his feet. When assembled, they made an effective and secure baby containment device that Piper would be strapped into for the entire weekend. She was calm some, though, noting that at the very least, they were purple. The others were already loaded into an enormous minivan by the time Piper, Ethan, and the doctor emerged from the main building. They'd been strapped securely into their car seats, warm woolen blankets placed over their laps. Vanessa had been dismayed to note that she'd been placed beside Frank, and she gave Piper an anxious glance as her fiery-haired friend entered the van. Piper gave a shrug and allowed herself to be buckled into the car seat directly across from Vanessa. Frank didn't notice the glance. His brow was deeply furrowed. He was slouched down low in his seat and frowning into his jacket. Vanessa didn't dislike Frank. She did, however, dislike his curt tone and habit of snapping. Vanessa was socially anxious on a good day, without the additional stresses of the park included. She cuddled Chip and took a steadying breath. She leaned forward and tried to catch Frank's eye. He saw her and immediately turned his head away towards the window. He gazed out sulkily as the van rumbled to life, and they drove away down the wide cobbled street. Vanessa didn't have the opportunity to dwell on this for very long. Within moments, all 5 of the little ones were looking excitedly outwards as the familiar landscape fell away and was replaced with rolling green hills. Vanessa marveled at the countryside, noting a narrow dirt road that appeared to lead to a farm. She listened intently and was able to hear the soft sound of cows mooing in the nearby fields. She laughed delightedly, which drew Piper's attention. What are you giggling at? Asked Piper earnestly. There's cows, said Vanessa, pointing out the right-hand side of the van. I can hear them. Piper nodded, and her trademark braids flopped over her shoulders. As she brushed them back, Vanessa's eyes were drawn to the purple leather straps that crisscrossed Piper's chest. A backpack? Overall straps? She wondered if it was appropriate to ask. She didn't have to wonder long. "Hey, what's that?" asked Aiden, pointing at Piper's chest. Piper frowned exaggeratedly and looked downward. "They're reins," she muttered. "Like for a horse?" asked Aiden, tilting his head. "Yes, Dennis, exactly like a horse," she said, rolling her eyes. "No, like toddler reins, like a baby leash." "Do we all have to wear them?" asked Aiden, his nose wrinkling. Vanessa's eyes widened. She did not enjoy that notion. Piper gave a heavy sigh. "No, you don't have to wear them." "Oh, thank God!" exclaimed Aiden. "But why do you have to wear them?" asked Aiden, swinging his legs. I guess I'm just special," she said, reddening. "Oh, yep, I get it. Reins are fun for you." A flash of some emotion was visible on Piper's face for a split second. Her stormy expression cleared, and she looked at Aiden. "No, it's a punishment," said Piper, evenly. "It's called close supervision." Frank gave a soft snort from beneath his blanket. Piper scowled, but did not respond. "Ah, yuck," said Aiden, his nose wrinkling once again. "Reins. It's not just reins. I have to be within arm's length of a big person at all times." Oh no, now you're gonna have to see my terrible accent. Here, she put on an exaggerated, and I want that to be clear, it's meant to be exaggerated, Irish accent. "Unless you're in your car seat, crib, bath, or playpen this weekend, you'll be wearing these." I turned into a pirate at the end. "To all of the people who are Irish, I'm sorry," she quoted, snapping her harness with her thumbs. Ethan cleared his throat, and Piper looked up sheepishly. Ethan gave her a look that she knew all too well. She was in for it when they reached the cabin. Piper gave an inaudible sigh. "Ah, yuck!" cried Aiden again, and Piper just shrugged. "It's not so bad. At least I got to come." "Would you really have been kept back?" asked Vanessa, her jaw dropping. "I was convinced I wasn't going to be allowed," said Piper. "If I'm being honest, I'm okay with close supervision." She smiled here. It was a dreamy, private sort of smile that evoked images of soft satisfaction. Piper really did appear okay with the reins. "Yeah?" asked Aiden, uncertainly. "Yeah," said Piper, simply. "Now, let's stop talking about this. You're missing all the cows." And that's the end of that chapter. I need a scarf. I think I've said that before. Have I? I don't know. It doesn't matter. That's the answer. I hope you enjoyed this week's chapter of Littleland. I'm excited about the next chapter. I'll probably film that soon. Okay. Oh, Pepper wants to say bye. Want to say bye to the people? Want to say bye? She's dropped her ball now. She doesn't care. Say bye. Say bye. No leg. No leg. Only bye. I'll see you very, very soon. Bye, everybody. Ah! Bleh.